What's up, guys? It is Gray, aka the Okagure, and we're back with more Todoroki family drama, the manga. Yep, that's it. No, it is My Hero, obviously. It's a joke. Spoiler alert, there's Todoroki stuff in here. Would have figured. Before we get into it, one, you should leave a like and subscribe. But two, I uploaded a Ruby video and it came back. It's great. I ramble for 20 minutes about a 15-minute episode, so you should check that out because I'm a man in a world, but not in a hero society. Let's get into it. Speaking of, once again, we're back to Big Hokage. That's what I'm gonna call it now. It's canon. I feel like I probably could have gotten a better name, but I'll let the universe pick that one out. Because, well, blah, 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 copyright, blah, 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 get in trouble, blah, 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 channel has one more strike. So, let's get into it. This is a short chapter. This is like, and I feel like I say that like all the time. Like every week I'm like, oh, it's a short chapter. No, this one actually ends on like page 17. So, like, it is a pretty short chapter. So, get off my back, okay? I don't think you're going to be on it, but if you were, let's talk about it. It's been over a minute. Let's talk about the chapter. So, it starts off giving a pretty cool view into like what society's going through, and I really like it. So it starts off and it's like it's basically like after the attack people were kind of freaking out, and then prisons started erupting, and then people started freaking out even more, and it was all because of the Nomu. And then there's a funny panel, oh nope, down here where it's like, me, like, yeah buddy, that's you. So that was cute. It talks about how like ever since the first attack on UA, people like started having more and more doubts until finally it just broke. Like people are officially giving up on heroes now, and we see it. So these guys up top left, they're breaking into somewhere. They're like, grab the cash, the food too. We can do whatever we want because like there's barely any heroes. The cops are busy. Blah blah blah. And then civilians. Oh, by the way, these are the same guys that Bakugo like soloed when he got his provisional license. So these guys are not a real threat. In case, like, they're to people, but not to, like, real characters. And then, like, the shop owner comes out with a support item. And there's a whole fight breaks out between, like, the staff and the people. It talks about how, we see Wash, by the way. Wash, the best hero, rolling up to the scene. And you just kind of see that. It's just destruction. Because people don't trust heroes anymore, so they're like buying support items off the black market, trying to weapons and stuff. They're fighting their own battles, and they're not trained. The fact that like people aren't trained, it's a common occurrence for people to fight between each other. The damage and casualties are really high. And Wash shows up and says one thing, Wash. So Wash is assumingly a Pokemon. It's a freaking Pokemon or something because it just says its own name. And then people are being mean to Wash, which is unacceptable, by the way. How dare you lay a hand on the one true king? Monsters. Some guy throws a pan at Wash, and he's like, "What? You too late. Like, what are you doing?" And then Wash is like, "Oh no, actually, Wash isn't a Pokemon. He says this stuff right here. I forgot. He has a line. He's like, let's disinfect those wounds." And so he does it, but I guess he isn't a Pokemon. Maybe it's Pikachu or Mewtwo. You never know. And then we'd see another hero. We skip to like a like an older hero, the samurai number 9, I believe he was. Blah blah blah. Older one. The number 9 hero. Yep. Yeah, apparently he's abrupt retirement, and people. And this is kind of shown in a light where it's supposed to be like. He basically says. So getting my point across is kind of tough because it's I don't really know exactly what I'm like. I know what I'm trying to say. This is supposed to show him as like not a good person, really, because as soon as he's retiring, he's like, I'm gonna fall on my sword. I'm gonna retire because it's being harder to be a hero. He says all I ever want is love and respect, and people are like, you're just dodging. Like we need heroes now more than like the good heroes now more than ever. And since he was only there for like the admiration and the fame and not to actually help people, he's leaving now, which is what it sums up. It's what's happening. So there's a big, and we see it continue on the next page, and there's a really dope panel here, and the spoiler alert, Stain is also in this chapter over here. There's a really sweet panel over here. Sorry, I bumped my mic, which we'll talk about in a second. But it shows like the guy from earlier where who's like giving up hope, and it's basically like a lot of heroes gave up on their career because when they signed up, it was a peaceful society. All Might was around, and his presence was, as we all know, keeping away villains, really. And that's why we get this sweet picture. It's a statue of All Might that says "I am not here," which is so dope. That's probably gonna be the thumbnail. Just spoiler alert. So heroes are people are losing faith fast in heroes. They do not have a symbol of hope. Like, villains are running rampant. Speaking of, we got to Stain. We get a little bit of Stain. So Stain, we see walking to his house, assumingly his pad, which looks pretty rough shape, and he's wet, so we can assume that he swam. So if he swam from Tartarus the whole way, dang, is all I can say. But I don't, we can assume that since he's wet, he's supposed to be swimming, which means he didn't accept All for One's offer. Not shocking. He didn't support the villains before. I doubt he would do it now. However, he's talking about, well, he's not really talking. It's just kind of the narrating how the heroes are putting through a sieve. I don't actually know how to say that word. S-E-E-V. Here, hold on. There you go. I actually know how to pronounce that word. I think it's sieve. Because, like, sift, you know what I mean? Basically, it's talking about how since Stain was always, the first thing he preached was like, oh, you all aren't real heroes. Now they really are seeing who's real and who's not. I want to talk about Stain at the end, because there's some stuff I want to talk about. And then we got to another goofy doctor. This hospital is just the Mario universe. There was a Yoshi. Now we have a Toad. Next thing we're going to be like a Koopa and Mario. Like, it throws me because this is such serious stuff. And then there's like really dumb looking silly dinosaur people in the back. And then it was like, there was a lot of people putting responsibility for society on one man. Obviously the number one ranked hero, Endeavor, and my man is in tough shape. And he also can't talk that much, really. He can talk a little bit, but he's like, "There's no side of the woods, man, to pull through. I'm rooting for you." He lives. He's like, "I'm still alive. My head is still a fog." He's thinking about, obviously, his son, Toya, which I'm really hoping that next chapter we actually get the full story, because we still don't really know what happened. We're just getting tiny pieces. And he's like, I'd survive. My son was gonna die and I was paralyzed, and he's like, blah blah. He's like, my son turned into a monster. He's reaping what I sowed. We see like a picture of kid Toya, assumingly, who's freaking out. So once again, I just want to know what went down exactly. I might get to live on, but Endeavor died back there. He talks about his son's a mass murderer and he can't fight him. Todoroki opened the door. He saw Endeavor was crying and then just immediately closed the door. Very, very funny. Once again, kind of broke the tension a little bit, but it was very funny. Fuyumi and Natsuo, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that's... Oh, is Fuyumi the mom? No, it's not. Hold on. Wait. Spoilers. Ray. Nope. This is Fuyumi. I'm right. Okay, cool. Fuyumi, Natsuo. Dude, good on me for remembering. These are not easy names to remember, guys. Just so everyone knows. The Todoroki siblings are there. It's like, good, you're up. We're going together. And then Natsuo gives him some shade. He's like, what are you crying over? What? He's like, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. So now the regrets, this guilt, too late. My heart, it's... And then the mom shows up. Drama. Yes, what about your heart? And dude, okay. Let's just talk about it, and then we'll get into it, because, like, that doesn't make any sense. Let's go over what happens, and then we'll talk about it. There we go. She shows up. Yes, what about your heart? There's regrets and guilt. The rest of us have borne that burden much more than you have. And he's like, Ray, why are you here? I'm here to talk about our family and our son, Toya. So she immediately rolls up, and people, like, were speculating she's going to be crushed seeing the Toya thing, blah, blah, blah. It's going to, like, mess her up, and she's going to be more messed up. She's making progress. She comes in. First of all, listen. I know you're not going to want to hear me say this. We already had a white-haired MILF in the last video. Another white-haired MILF. What is it with Mommy Milky? That's it. That's all I'm going to talk about. That's all I'm going to say about it. Either way, she comes in super hard and is like, it's time to sack up, Endeavor, because we got to talk about our family and our son. And you need to get the frick over yourself. And this panel of Endeavor is great too, by the way. Oh, you can't see it. My man looks shook shooketh. So that's awesome. That's really cool that she's like, she means business. And I'm excited because I really hope that we don't cut away and we get to see the backstory. Because it's time. It's time for Toya's backstory. We just got Hawks. Now would be the perfect time. If we cut to somewhere else, I'm going to be a little annoyed, to be honest. I am going to be pretty annoyed. Because we've already been cutting around a lot. My nose is very itchy. I'm sorry. We've been cutting around a lot. It's time to, like, really... It's like, we're doing this. Like, we got to do this. It's time. If we cut to Deku, dude, not important. Real quick, I do want to talk about Stain. I love edgy stuff. Tokiyomi is one of my favorite characters. If you follow the channel, you know that. Did I say Tokiyomi? I said Tokiyomi, right? I meant Tokiyomi if I didn't say that. I'm pretty sure I did, but for some reason my... Whatever. I don't like Stain at all. I don't like his design. Also, he looks different. Am I wrong? Does Stain, like, his face look different to anyone else? Is that just me? Something about it. Like, I know he's, like, missing his headband and his, like, his face thing or whatever, but it just... It's something about, like, the way that he's drawn is different to me. Either way, it doesn't matter. And I also think he was right, but he wasn't right, if that makes sense. Like, he was correct about Hero Society that there were some heroes that are, like, bad, that in it for the fame and money. But he was way too, like he was wrong about a lot of them. He was like, you're blah, blah, you know, like, there was good heroes. He killed innocent people. Stain wasn't right. So, like, everyone will be like, oh, Stain called it. He's, like, a good guy. No. Stain's still a bad person. He still killed innocent people. He, he was wrong about a lot of heroes. Like, he thought all of Hero Society was corrupt. Clearly, that's not the case. We still have Wash, Mirko, Hawks, like, even Mount Lady, someone who we thought originally that was only in it for the, like, the grandeur, is in it to help people, to really help people. So I don't agree with Stain. I don't like him as a character really at all. I think his quirk is weird. His quirk is so weird. Don't love Stain. I don't know if I hate Stain, but I don't like Stain. In fact, Stain was the only time I ever didn't watch the anime. I went back and rewatched it because I've rewatched My Hero a couple times now. But there was a point with Stain where, like, when it was airing, I was like, I don't need to read that or watch that because I already know. Like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel the urge to watch the Stain arc just because I didn't care. After going back, it held up pretty good, and it was good. It was enjoyable to see, like, Ida and Endeavor actually do stuff for the first time, which is kind of funny. But either way. Overall, I don't really have much. The Hero Society thing was super cool. Seeing the samurai hero retire because he was actually a punk was sad, but it's good to see that, like, even some big name heroes were actually not in it for the long haul. You know what I mean? That's important stuff. Oh, there's also people saying that what Stain is gonna do. People are predicting on the Reddit. I said one of the big predictions was that he was going to go through and kill or try to kill all the heroes that like dropped, which he could do. It probably is what he's going to do, but I personally think that's so lame because, like, they're already gone, dude. Like, what are you going to do? Like, be like, oh, repent for your sins. Like, that's dumb. Do something useful. Go kill some villains or something. I don't know. Like, I just don't want him to do that because that's just a waste of time. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I want him to be important, not be, if he's going to be there, make him be important, you know what I mean? Don't make him, like, diddle around with people that aren't even heroes anymore. And the Endeavor stuff, the Tokiyomi, Jesus. I'm sorry, I've been awake for a long time. I had to wake up early today. I'm very tired. Todoroki, the Todoroki family stuff is really cool. I like seeing Endeavor realize that, like, oh god, like, this is all me. Like, this really is all me. And he always knew that. I don't want people are being like, oh, he's only crying for attention. Like, he's crying to make people feel sorry for him. My man was crying before anyone showed up. He was crying privately to himself, okay? So he is really feeling sad about his actions. Like, I don't think this is like, I'm not excusing what he did. Don't misconstrue it, okay? Like, he was a horrible father, clearly, but he is trying to be better, and I think he does truly feel remorseful for his actions, and that's really all you can ask for someone, right? And he has gone, I think so far, I don't think he's repented yet, but he has shown the correct amount of initiative to try and fix those mistakes. And of course, the mom showed up. I love that she means business. They're going to talk about Toya. Please, please, God, let us get some Toya, like the Toya flashback. Because it's the big piece, it's the one chunk of the missing puzzle. Sorry, my phone went off and it freaked me out. That we need to really, really paint the picture right. Because we know a little bit about, like, what happened. You know, once again, I said we've gotten bits and pieces, but we don't really know the breaking point. We don't even know. We've mostly seen the good side of their relationship, outside of like a couple panels, and hearsay by like Natsuo over here. So yeah, it's time. I want to know. Yeah, that's it. I want to know. I don't want him to jump around. February 14th, we're gonna see it. This video is 15 minutes. This was on. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be less than 10-minute video. I'm so sorry. That's really all I have to talk about. I promise. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Once again, Ruby video, go check it out, please, because it was a lot of fun to make, and I think the Ruby videos are quality-wise probably the best thing on the channel. Just because I don't know. I guess I put more work into the videos. Well, not a lot more work, but like a little bit more work. They're fun. Ruby's fun. Go check it out. And like the video, subscribe. Either way, I will catch all of you next time around Saturday or Sunday for Ruby. And until next time, guys, take it easy. Peace.